Good afternoon, everyone. It is Saturday, and today I wanted to talk to you about strategies for Saturday, or Saturday strategies. So the topic was basically concerning what it is that I do on Saturdays to set up my coming week. I've always had a lot of things going on in the week with a big family and people coming and going, and trying to keep up with making sure to talk to my kids that are out of the house, trying to remember what activities I need to help out with my dad and my sister about, and my mother-in-law. So there's always things to do. So I try to keep do a little bit of strategizing on Saturday so I can keep my life somewhat calm. I mean, everything kind of life happens, right? Everything can get off track, but these are some things that I do to help out with strategies for Saturday. Hi, Pam. Thanks for joining me. If you make a little thing in the chat as far as where you are from when you're jumping on, or give me some thumbs up, that would be great, so I know you're getting value out of this. But okay, so the first thing I do on Saturdays is that I actually start on Saturday. I use Saturday as the way to start this process, finishing it up on Sunday if need be, but I try to do this. Hello, thanks for joining me, Sadiq, I believe. Try to start the whole process off. So the first thing I do is I plan out my Facebook Live topics for the whole week. And or even farther out if I have something that I know I want to be talking about. But I actually, Kansas City, yep, okay. I thought I remembered that, Pam. But planning out my Facebook Lives. So I have the topics all set aside, and then make little bullet notes, and actually getting it all ready to go if I need to do some research or anything like that. Because then I can just hop on. Inevitably, the day comes and I start to think, okay, what is it that I was going to talk about? And so trying to save some time by having it all planned out ahead of time really has helped me a lot. I've found that that's really been a good time saver. It makes it easier to have some consistency in what it is that you are presenting to people, what you have to research, what you want to share. So that's a good tip to do, and I got that from Des Baldwin. He was my mentor with that. The next thing I do is I print off a checklist that I use to follow, and well, here it is. Sorry, it's just a little spreadsheet. You can do it just with paper, pencil, whatever. But I have the days of the week across the top. And then I have all of the different activities, and I know you can't see it, but the activities that I need to do during the day for my business in particular, and then I can just check off. So whether I did my Facebook Live, check. Wrote up a blog post, check. Posted some inspirational materials, check. That sort of thing, and it just keeps me on track. Otherwise, it's so easy to get diverted onto different activities and get lost and not remember, did I do it or not. So I do my checklist. The next thing I do is I make a list of the people that I want to contact during the week. And there's 3 different kinds of people that I contact. The first one is people that I want to develop a relationship with, furthering the relationship, getting to know them better, finding out if there is a way that I could help them. Is there, with their needs in their life, maybe financial, maybe, who knows, whatever it is. I like to connect people, so if there's something that I personally am not able to help them with, but I know somebody else that can help them, then I usually try to connect the two. So first of all is developing relationship with people, which people I want to keep with developing relationship, getting to know them better. The second one is who have I already developed a relationship with and I want to talk to about my business opportunity, or about something that I have told them about that may help them, or to connect with other people. Hi, Yolanda. Thanks for joining. So that I can help serve them. So what is it that they need? Do I know somebody that would be able to help them out, or could I help them myself? Thanks for joining. Hi, Patricia. Thanks for joining. The third group of people is cold calling. And that might be scary to people or people that don't want to do that, but there might be some business cards that I've picked up, or just plain names that I have come across or referrals. And then I will decide whether or not I've got a list of people for some cold calling. So those are some of the groups of people. Oh, and I forgot one other group, following up. If there's some customers that I have, if there's some people that I had spoken with and I need to get back to them, following up. So those are the groups of people that I make a list of who I want to talk to. The fifth is, what is my marketing strategy for the week? If I want to, hi Elizabeth, if I want to work on the Facebook Lives, if I want to post some in particular groups that I am interested in, if I want to, thanks Yolanda, thanks for that. If I want to use some other kinds of marketing strategies, maybe I want to offer this printable as a way to share it with people, to give them something to help them out, and then I could get in touch with them and, you know, get some names on an email list or get some names just to start a conversation with them. Another one is, then I go into my calendar and I put in all the activities that we have going with my family, whether the Diamond has soccer practice and games. And I put those all in the calendar. If there's any other things that need to be put in there that are immovable, appointments and that sort of thing. And then that way it leads me to my next point, developing your business hours. When are you going to work? I have been guilty of working all the time sometimes, rather than working for 2-hour blocks or 3-hour blocks here, or even 1-hour blocks. But, you know, I'm working and then I stop and go make supper, or, you know, do other errands, things like that. I tend to get started and then I just keep going and don't stop. So that's not a very good, I wouldn't recommend doing that. So then I can decide when I'm going to work and put them in on my calendar. I saw a great tip from somebody the other day, and they actually used, I think it was a whiteboard, but you could use it with paper, and they had their weekly schedule, and then they used Post-it notes to put in their activities. So then if things change, they just moved things around. So that, I thought I might give that a try, and if I do, I'll follow up with how that worked. Okay, so after we set the working hours, the next thing that I do is you know, depending on what's going on in the week, then I do menu planning. I have tried menu planning for a whole month at a time. I have tried menu planning just on a day-to-day basis, and that always seems to be kind of a difficult thing for me. So I prefer to go with a weekly menu plan. So I write out the different meals that I want to make, and even if it's just chicken one night, beef one night, fish another night, salad night, breakfast for supper, those sorts of ideas. You can do broad categories like that, or you can actually decide which is which. You know, instead of chicken, you want to make chicken cordon bleu or barbecued chicken since it's summertime. But then I put those in the calendar based on what activities. So if I have a soccer game to take Diamond to at 5:30, well then I put something in the crock pot, or I have a salad made ahead or something like that. So that's one way to try and make it a little bit easier on yourself and your family while you're trying to work and keep track of everybody else and what's going on in your life. And then from the menu plan, I go one step more and write out my grocery list so that, yeah, barbecue. Make out the menus and then write out the grocery list so I know what I have to do for grocery shopping, because that's one thing I really dislike is when I go into the grocery store and I don't have a list, and you know, you wander around and then an hour later you come out with something that you didn't want and you forgot what you did want. So that is my Saturday strategies that I follow. And of course, I try to do these as much as possible. Sometimes I'm really good at it, and sometimes I get behind and don't get it done until Sunday or even Monday morning. But when I do these sorts of things, and plan things out. It always helps, even if it's just a general overview of what's going on, so that you don't lose track of your week, because it's so easy. Yeah, exactly. You overbuy when you're in the grocery store, or if you go when you're hungry. That's always a bad one too. But if you have a general overview of what's going on in the week, so you know what's happening, you can kind of plan your week out, and that helps out a lot. And that takes the stress off, so that you can enjoy your family, and you can actually be present and be intentional with your life, and be able to do the things that you were called to do, whether it be working, taking care of your family, you know, all of these things that are so necessary in our life. So with that, I think I will wrap things up. Thank you so much for joining me. If you know somebody that would be gain some insight with this, and maybe get some tips that would help them, feel free to share it. I appreciate it. And yeah, I was at the gym this morning, and then I went out and weeded my garden. Actually, it looked more like a forest. It was a bunch of weeds, so I did all that. Now it's time to clean up and move on to the next part of my day. So you guys take care and have a great afternoon, and we'll see you later. Bye now.